The Australian Reptile Park is called, they've got a critically ill animal. It sounds like it needs urgent attention.
Hi Chris, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Tim will be happy to see you. Come straight through.
He's got a platypus.
He does. It was found this morning. It's unbelievable.
Really?
Hi, mate.
Hey, Tim, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, good, thank you.
You never cease to surprise me.
No, check this out.
The malnourished platypus was found wandering lost on a suburban road.
He's lucky they didn't run him over thinking he was a rat, you know, good people. We get some lovely people that bring all sorts of animals in, so this guy's benefited from it.
Have you got a name for him?
Oh, look, well, between a few of us, we wanted to call him Aussie because he's a little battler at the moment.
My guess is that he's a young male, he's been kicked out by a territorial male, and he's just trudged through the bush. He's picked up all these ticks, and he turns up in suburbia. There's 20, 30 right there.
My worry is that he's got 40 or so ticks in that container. He's probably got another at least 40 on him there.
Yeah.
If each of those has, say, half a mil of blood, even a quarter of a mil, that's 10 mils of blood.
Yeah.
He's got to be severely anemic as it is. Yeah. Underweight, dehydrated, he's got a lot of things going against him. What I might do, just to, I guess, as a bit of insurance against him going into shock himself and not really handling this whole experience, actually give him some fluids now. That should help his blood pressure straight away. Has he tried to use his spurs yet?
No, I mean, I don't know. They're still there.
Yeah.
And they're quite large still for a young plat, but...
Jeez, they are decent, aren't they? As the minutes tick by, he's becoming more and more stressed by the whole situation, so we've got to get the ticks off quickly, but pay a lot of attention to that spur.
I and most of the guys here would rather cop a whack from a King Brown than one of these, you know. The pain is just said to be unbelievable.
Yeah. It's amazing. Everyone just assumes they're just so cute and cuddly.
Yeah.
And they're cute, but they've got a pretty nasty little surprise waiting for you, don't they?
Chris continues the painstaking job of removing all the ticks from Aussie.
It's only when you really part the fur you realise just how many there are. It's like having open wounds all over his body. The fact is, he can quite easily die from these ticks because each one of them is taking just a little bit of blood, and that could be enough to kill him. Oh, jeez. It's important to realise that these aren't paralysis ticks. There is more than one type of tick, and these are actually called bush ticks. So what they do is they just suck blood. On a small animal, finding 1 or 2 ticks is a concern. Finding 100 is extraordinary and extraordinarily worrying too.
After a thorough examination of Aussie, Chris is satisfied he's removed all the ticks from the orphaned platypus. A preventative spray should now stop any other ticks ravaging his fragile system.
Listen to that. They don't very often make a noise.
No. That's almost the emergency beacon for them. They make that sound when they're really stressed. His natural environment is water. He's going to eat when he's in water, so the sooner we can get him there and get him relaxing, the better.
All right, now he doesn't look real good there, so I want to get him in nice and quick. Good. I'm just going to ease him down a bit. Off you go, mate. Let him see where he is. We'll just keep him isolated for the moment, you know, give him his own little tank and let him try and recuperate until he gets healthy. Looks good.
He's hungry, isn't he?
Yeah, actually eating mealworms. Look at that.
That little sonar of his is still working then.
Look, there we go, another one. That's a good food response. I mean, that's immediate. It's not over by a long way. You know, for him to be like that in my hands, then touch the water, it doesn't mean we're in the clear, you know. That's sort of his last-ditched attempt to get some nutrition in, you know, but we've got a long way to go. Yeah, a lot of it's up to him. All we can provide is food, shelter, water. You know, we can put all the elements there. He's got to have a good will to live. And here he is, our little Aussie battler. He's beaten all the odds. He had 80 blood-sucking ticks on him. He was on the road and avoided getting hit by a car. He walked all that way through the bush, and I tell you, if this bloke was human, he'd be selling his story to a magazine.
Aussie, the great survivor, has made a full recovery and is adapting well to his new home at the Australian Reptile Park.
Now, as for his future, in captivity, he's going to become very dependent upon us. So he might finish his days in a breeding program as an ambassador for his species.
We just gotta wait, they'll turn up.
At a small river west of Sydney, night has fallen and Tim and the team are on alert.
Well, I mean, there's been splashes and stuff, so...
The boys have laid out nets in the hope of catching the elusive platypus. Tim is worried a harsh drought is taking its toll on the much-loved Aussie icon, and he wants to make sure the plats in this river are healthy.
Something swimming there. Something swimming there right now.
Suddenly, there's movement in the water.
Once we catch a plat and the buoy's going up and down, there's no easy way of doing it. In the river we go, all of us. Scissors, lights, gloves.
Yeah.
Okay, keep an eye on the rest of that net, Nico. Got to get that plat out of the net quickly, above the water, and then bring it out. I mean, it's possible that a plat trapped underwater can drown. It's our first plat. It's a big female. Now, the first thing we check is always, are there spurs? Females don't have spurs. Look at that. Have you ever seen anything as beautiful as that? Hello. Okay, Nicky, got a bag there, mate? The female now goes in a bag on some grass in a box. Now, we do that because we can't get the data from her now and release her because we'll catch her over and over again. We don't want to put her through that. That's it, mate. Close it up. Now, do you want to just take her a couple of metres up there where she's nice and quiet? That's it. And we'll get ready.
It's not long before the boys are back in the water. This plat is putting up a big fight.
One more. Should have him. Should have him. Okay, one leg.
That's it.
I knew we'd get a big male. There's always one, a territorial male. As soon as you see it in the net, you can see it is massive. Look at this. How big is that? But how good is that to get something of this size, this age? This is a big male platypus. And those spurs right there are one of the most painful stings on earth. You take him, mate. You got him? You did well out in the water there. Good.
Yeah,
got him?
Good, good.
Right, mate. 1, 2, 3, in. Beauty. Let's go and sit down and wait for another one, hey?
With 2 successful catches, the boys wait in anticipation for another platypus. But as the night draws on, Tim is growing increasingly concerned by the lack of movement in the river. He fears the drought has affected the platypus population.
It's been a long time now and there's still no plats. But been around long enough to know that patience will normally pay off, but I'm getting nervous.
Just got to keep waiting, mate. Be patient, it'll happen. Got something? I'm not sure. No, maybe a fish. Maybe nothing. False. False alarm. It's hard, isn't it? You want the net to go.
We've been waiting a long time. This is not what I'd hoped for. I had hoped that we'd just get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plats in a row.
After another silent hour, suddenly Mick spots something.
Something in the net, guys.
It's another plat, and this feisty Aussie takes an instant dislike to rookie Mike.
Now, female plats don't have the venomous spurs like the males, but they've got a trick up their sleeve I've never seen before, and that was she had an amount of poo in there that when we caught her, squirted right out in Mike's face. Good on you, darling.
One of the more unpleasant things I've ever had to deal with. Yeah, I might just go get washed up.
Something in the net, guys. Might be a plat.
Before they have a chance to pull in the nets, there's some unanticipated action.
Just when we thought that the night was over, we got another plat. Another male. Big male. He's heavy too. How's that bag, mate? Right in the bag? Yep, good on you, mate. The plats put up a fight. I mean, it's a little frightening for them, so they defend. And as soon as you put your hand near those spurs, they know it and they just rake backwards. They're incredibly strong. Just really got to be careful, and it's just safe to use gloves. Physical condition is
beautiful.
is just great.
Yeah.
The next thing we've got to do is collect the data, establish how old they are, how much they weigh, and gain some measurements, just get a better understanding of the plats here.
Way out west of Sydney, Tim has caught 4 platypuses.
Lovely, that's what we wanted.
A thorough health check will determine if the relentless drought is taking its toll on these delicate Aussie icons.
We're looking here for the bend in the tail, and it's an indicator that's fat storage. So it's telling us what type of condition the plat's in. So, I mean, I don't think that the plat's necessarily too overweight. I mean, I'd probably give that a 3.5.
It's a good score for this female platypus. A ranking of 2 or below would mean these unique animals may be struggling to survive.
Total length. 450 to the dot, 45 centimetres.
With the older female given the all clear, it's time to check the youngest catch.
Yeah, she's calm. Okay, 4'4", smaller than the last. Catching a juvenile is everything because it means that everything is moving forward. The next generation is here. We're pretty lucky to see you, aren't we? We're pretty lucky to see you. Now we've handled the girls, got a bit of practice. It's the gloves on, extra precautions. Look at that. I mean, the girls are cute, but that's pretty impressive, hey?
Right, mate.
And let's sit him down, Mike, you on the tail.
Yep. That's just a different feeling animal.
Big,
Yeah.
Strong.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the thing to check for us is the spurs. Hey, there's venom on the end of that spur. This big boy, he's ready to unleash that venom. I look down at the spur and there's droplets of venom just seeping off the end. I think it's hard to say how old he is, perhaps 5, 6, perhaps 9, 10. I mean, we know that he's mature. I think we're gonna have to leave it at that with him.
He's the king, though.
He's the king.
Yeah.
That was good. 4 plats, all different ages and sizes. Main thing is they're all healthy, that's brilliant. We've even got a young plat that says this whole system is ticking over. Now for the special part, letting them go. There you go, buddy. That was a good release, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First wild plat.
Yeah. Off you go, sweetheart. They're calm, hey?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're settled.
She knows where she is. Okay, when you're ready, mate. How good's that?
Absolutely gorgeous.
That was the big boy, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time for the final release. Although this grumpy girl gave Mike a hard time earlier in the night,
Unbelievable.
it seems that the rookie holds no grudges.
It's your special little girl.
That's my special little girl, yeah. Time to go. See you later. Coming down here tonight and seeing the plats in the wild, I think has been beyond all of my expectations. I'm wrapped. It was just unreal.
She knows where she is. That was a good night.
Mate, that's got to be one of the highlights of my life, I reckon.
Good. Same time next year?
Yeah, unreal. I'm here.
Morning, Dr. Kate.
G'day, Tim.
How are ya?
Nice to see you.
Kate's travelling from Bondi to the Australian Reptile Park today to help Tim with some extra special patients.
After you.
There's 3 of them in here.
3.
We rescued some platypus throughout recent bushfire and droughts. They faced a certain death. We've rehabilitated them, and now it's time to release them. People are fascinated by platypus, and it's no surprise. You know, they're living, breathing dinosaurs. The first platypus was sent back to the motherland, Britain, and the scientists there thought it was a hoax, that someone had taken the bill off a duck, the tail off a beaver, and sewn this creature together. Turns out it was just the Australian platypus.
Tim wants Kate to check on 3 of these fascinating creatures, all rescued from horrific bushfires.
I'm hoping that today you look at the plats and they've maintained a stable weight of about 850 to 900 grams.
Yep.
When they came in, they were 300 grams.
Wow.
Absolute skin and bones.
Wow.
We've brought them back to health over the past 6 to 8 months.
Yeah.
And hopefully, with a clean bill of health today, we can let our first go.
That's great.
The fires were devastating. Countless platypus would have perished. The few that we did find, we intervened and we rescued. There's 3 in this maze. And the whole thing is that they're hard for us to find, which is intended to give the platypus a sense of comfort.
Yeah, I mean, it's a burrow, right?
It's a burrow. Oh, here we go. The best way to hold platypus is by the tail, whether it's a male or female. Now, if it's a female, it's okay then to begin and handle a little more normally and you let the tail go. So this female came in on death's door. She was young, but I think her whole growth was stunted.
Yeah.
And the other platypus are biting her on the tail.
Yeah, right.
Because she's small, she's disadvantaged.
Suddenly, this lively little female gives Kate an unexpected surprise.
When platypus are stressed, they have a substance. It's disgusting, it's oily and it stinks. It's not urine and it's not feces. It's made to deter predators.
Oh dear, it's just never ending. Oh my goodness.
I've been hit in the eye before. It's horrible. Can you smell it?
It's like a skunk-like reaction. You know, she's stressed in a defensive position. Ugh, it stinks. Have a look at you, little monkey.
Beautiful, hey?
Beautiful, nose good. I know, sweetheart. Gosh, she's good weight.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean,
You can
look at
just
this
feel it,
tail.
can't you?
Platypus, you can tell quite a lot from their coat. When they do get sick, they quite often are not as water resistant as when they're well. But she'll be all right.
Yeah.
Her body condition's great, meaning she's pretty fat.
Well, we've got a little bit of a soft spot for her, so that doesn't surprise me. She was in incredibly bad health, so the fact that she's carrying a little bit too much weight now is okay.
Hopefully, this lively girl can soon be released back into the wild.
Here you go, sweetie. Go over here. One.
What have you got there?
Male.
Male.
Yeah, 100%. So we can very quickly see the spurs.
Yeah.
I'll put a glove on.
Yeah.
Kate's next patient has to be handled with extreme care.
And at all costs, we stay away from those spurs.
Yeah.
Male platypus carry venom, and they have a spur to deliver that venom. It's on the inside of their back legs, and it's one of the most painful bites or stings on Earth.
Buddy, don't spur me.
Ooh. I know of one or two people that have been hit. They go on suicide watch because the pain is
Wow.
non-treatable. No
Yeah.
morphine, there's no painkiller drugs.
Yeah.
They want their hand chopped off, and it doesn't end.
Let's not get spurred. This male is a total wriggler. He just wants to get away. He will fight to the death if he has to. Okay, calm down. He's trying really hard to get his back legs up so that he can get me spurred, and there is no way that's going to happen. That's great. His weight's been stable?
Stable. So he's at 950 to,
Yeah, right.
to 1050.
Yep.
So you think my thoughts are right? Get these two out?
Just hold her for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's good. So they can go in. We'll make a plan for a couple of weeks from now.
Great.
I'm just going to put
him back.
Can you please grab her? Yep, I've got him.
The first two platypus will stay with Tim for a bit longer, but he's hoping number 3, nicknamed Priscilla, has recovered enough to go back to the wild.
I really like her health. I really like where she's at. And what I would like Kate to do is second that opinion.
Now, what we'll do is have a look at this tail. The tail is a really good way of being able to actually have a look at how thin they are. And by folding it inwards, a bit like you would a piece of paper, you can often tell how much subcutaneous fat is actually in that tail. Great. Feet, no ticks, no little lesions.
Check this out on the front feet. See where the knuckles actually fold?
Yeah.
Then the webbing. Watch the webbing. The webbing extends like a duck's foot all the way out. But when they close their hand, their claws come off their knuckles.
Right. Beautiful. She looks gorgeous. Well, this is great. She's in really good nick.
You happy?
I think she looks amazing.
It's good news for Priscilla.
You're going to go back to the wild where you belong.
Hold on.
Kate and Tim are now heading 4 hours north of the reptile park to release Priscilla the platypus.
We made it.
The area that we've come to is just on the western side of the Barrington Tops.
We got one last river crossing.
This place is not easy to get to, but it's hidden away and that makes it beautiful.
The first job is finding a suitable spot for the young female to call home.
The perfect spot.
The perfect spot. For me, it's really breathtaking to be here. Last year wasn't a blade of grass on the ground. The river was bone dry. There were animals dying everywhere. And to come here now, it almost looks perfect. But it's missing one thing, platypus. Right now, we really just need to find that big pool of water.
Yeah.
And once we do, we'll have our spot to let it go. I'm looking for key indicators. Is the water clean? Is there fresh water coming in? Is the grass green, indicating that we're not just going to have topsoil erosion into the water? All of those boxes are ticked here right now. And that's the exact type of structure that we want. And they don't mind walking up an embankment if they have to.
Yeah, okay.
They'd much rather enter from the water, but this all looks great. Kate and I have walked along a few hundred metres of riverbank, and then with a big halo over it is the perfect spot. The still pool that we've been looking for. There's a natural ford, a rock wall, that's making a dam behind it. Nice flowing current with deep pockets. This is Priscilla's new home. She travelled well.
She did. I can see why this is a good platypus home. It's absolutely beautiful. So now all we have to do is say our goodbyes. Make sure you dig a really, really big burrow and get enough to eat, all right, girl?
She doesn't want to go.
No, I know. She loves it.
Wow. For me and my team, this is the ultimate. All the hard work pays off. Look at her, just clambering over those rocks. She knows exactly what to do.
I know how much effort Tim and the crew have put into Priscilla, and I know how hard this has been to get them back to this point. I think the rush that you feel when you actually release these kind of animals is exhilarating, and I don't think anyone really understands how amazing it is unless you've been there.
Get ready, because when she goes, she's gone.
There she goes.
Well done, thank you.
So good.
It was a good day.
Hey, Timmy, check out what I've just picked up. You're not going to believe this.
At the Australian Reptile Park, Bill has turned up with a most unusual creature for Tim to examine.
What is it? Wow, look at that. Oh, holy moly. Come and have a look at this, ladies.
Oh.
Do you know what it is? It's a little echidna, a puggle. Billy's just come into the office. Tim, come look at this. He's got a baby echidna. I've worked in zoos 17 years. I've only ever seen one before. You know what these are up here?
That have to be its ears.
They're its ears. So because it's in the dirt, they don't have, an opening, but that just catches like a satellite dish.
Absolutely adorable. It was the sweetest little thing I've ever seen. I don't think I'd ever come across one of those before, and so when I first saw one, amazing.
Are the spines spiky?
Well, have a feel.
A little bit.
Try go the other way.
Oh, you can't. It was absolutely crazy seeing it. It was like nothing I've ever seen before, like out of this world.
What's the story, Bill?
The machine operator up near Devilark is disturbed, obviously, where Mum's burrow is and found a little baby.
Burrow's destroyed. There's no chance for it to go back.
Oh, it's completely destroyed. So, and Mum's nowhere to be seen, so...
Okay, they've done the right thing. Better than leaving him there. Billy says that it was dug up by a machine, so they've destroyed the nursery burrow. Mum's out somewhere. She comes back at irregular intervals, and this little baby's been exposed. Thankfully, it wasn't crushed. It looks good, a bit thin. Face is all clean, no bruising.
The baby echidna, or puggle, has had a lucky escape, but without its mother to care for it, Tim realises keeping it alive will be extremely difficult.
What do you want to do?
Look, I mean, it needs to be hand-reared. It's about 90 to 100 days old. And remember, this hatches from an egg. Yeah, we're talking a monotremes. So Mum lays an egg, incubates the egg, it hatches, small and pink, and now we're looking at something that's a few months old.
How does it get its mum's milk then?
Well, unbelievably, she has no teat. She has a mammary gland that it pushes its nose against, and the milk comes out like we'd sweat, and it drinks it. And get this, it only eats every 5 to 8 days. Yeah?
Oh, wow.
Look at the tongue.
Oh, so beautiful.
Look at it. The first thing that goes through my mind, it's fun, everyone having a look and the excitement, I'm excited. But there's a realisation that he has to be hand-reared. He's lost Mum, he's on his own now. There's going to be challenges.
So he'll survive without his mum?
Could, as long as there's been no damage to him, or him or her, we're in with a fighting chance. We got to get it to start drinking milk, get it out of this bucket and into a home, and you know, we got a fighting chance just like anything else. I'm thinking of a name already.
What is it?
Well, we don't know if it's a boy or girl for at least a year, but maybe Eddie the echidna, and if it turns into a girl, we'll go Edwina.
Edwina. Could still be Eddie then.
Physically, the puggle looks fine. I can't see any bruising, there's no obvious abrasions. I think he's been very lucky. Pop it on here, you watch its mobility. Watch, it can't walk. It's not ready for that, it's developing now.
He looks like an adorable little baby elephant to me personally. He just looks a little bit confused, he can't walk properly.
He's wobbly. So if this was out from a burrow now, fox, cat,
Easy.
gone.
So it won't need a pouch?
No, at this age, it's left its mum's pouch and it stays in the burrow. So what I need to do is make somewhere like a burrow that it can bury, keep it at a cool temp where it can just ball up, go into a torpid state between feeds, and let's see how he or she is tracking in a few weeks. We've all had a look, fun and games are over. Now I want to get him set up, settled to the right temperature and start the process of hen rearing. Now what are we going to find you for a home, little mate? Hey? You're meant to be in a burrow, not a bucket. I'm in new territory today. I've read and I've learned all about hen rearing echidnas, but never had to do it. Now this looks good for an echidna. What do you think, mate? Hey, Eddie? What do you think? I found the right enclosure for Eddie. It's ventilated, but it's deep, it's dark. Now I need to make the burrow. He needs dirt, bit of sand, and importantly, it must be dry. You wait here, pal. I'm gonna get you some dirt, some sand, make a nice, deep, cool burrow, and I'll be back in a second. Perfect. This dirt's perfect because it's dry. Moisture and humidity can give him a respiratory infection, perhaps pneumonia. So a female echidna, she digs a burrow, and the temperature in that burrow is between 18 and 23 degrees. I'm used to keeping mammals and birds, reptiles at 35 degrees. The challenge is to make an environment that stays cool. This is the perfect start. Dirt, a little bit of sand, and he'll have his home.
If baby Eddie is to survive, Tim needs to get every element of his new home right.
It's my challenge to find the right area that the temperature will stay beneath 23 degrees. That's not easy. Then I've got to have dirt that's dry, that he can dig in. I'll perhaps place a towel on top so he feels secure and just try and get him comfortable. How you going, little man? Got you a home. Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, what's up, Tim?
Come and have a look at this. We've got a home for someone. Dry dirt, it's a burrow. Got to be kept at 20 degrees.
What is it?
Something you won't have seen.
Oh my God, what is that?
This is Eddie the echidna.
No way.
Kyle walks past and I give him a yell. I know that he hasn't seen a puggle before, and when he does, he's blown away.
This is amazing.
Now, see these? This is his ears.
Is it?
You see all the features on these that you wouldn't see on a big prickly adult.
No, seen plenty of adults, but never seen anything like this. Didn't think in my lifetime I would see a baby echidna. To see one at that size, there's no words to explain it.
The critically important thing for its survival is that this burrow is like the wild.
To ensure Eddie doesn't overheat, Tim will use a thermometer to monitor the pug's new home.
So, I'll put one probe in the dirt. I'll put one probe in here. Now, you see, we're already sitting at about 23 degrees. So I have to find somewhere that can get that down to 21.
As well as temperature, Tim will need to keep a watchful eye on Eddie's weight.
Can you pop him in there, please?
Yep. Just straight down?
Yep, straight in.
Hey, buddy.
Okay, we're at 550 grams. Weighing all of our animals, especially orphan wildlife, is critically important. Today, Eddie's weight will set a benchmark. I'll now monitor against that. I don't want him to lose weight. Needs to go up. Let's pop him in there.
But temperature remains the critical factor.
Do you think he'll burrow straight down if you put it in, or try to?
I think that he'll probably burrow down a bit, but
Today's warm, so I don't think he'll necessarily go down in the dirt. He'll try and stay cool. I'm happy with the enclosure. The thermometer's working, the dirt's good, he can burrow in it. But now I want to see if he'll feed. Okay, I'm going to get that kangaroo food. Can you do me a favour? Please grab a container, syringe, 3 mil, a fork, and about 100 ml of hot water.
100 ml hot water.
Thank you. The milk that I'm using is an artificial product that's made for marsupials. It's really important if you find wildlife, do not give them cow's milk. They can't process it. There are the right type products, and I've got it. So the process here is the same as a wallaby, wombat, possum. It's when I go to feed him that it changes because there's no bottle, there's no teat, there's no syringe, it's into the palm of the hand. The thing with echidna milk, it's a lot higher in fat. A kangaroo might feed 4 to 6 times a day. Eddie will feed every 3 to 5 to 8 days. So the fat content has to be a lot bigger for him to be able to grow. It's going to be a challenge to get him to eat. But the bigger challenge right now is that thermometer's still at 23 and 22 degrees. The biggest challenge is to get that down. I've got one place in mind in this whole park where I might be able to do that, and I'm going to go there.
All right, good luck with it, Tim.
Thanks, mate. I'll let you know if he feeds. There you go, mate.
Tim has brought Eddie, the baby echidna, to stay in his office, where it's cool enough to give the rescued puggle a good chance at survival.
You're out and about. I hope that means you're hungry, buddy.
Tim is also anxious to get the little puggle feeding.
Your belly does look thin. This is a crucial stage for Eddie. I don't know if Mum fed him 2 days ago or 8 days ago. And I'm told it's like the flick of a light switch. Either they want to eat or they don't. I hope he does, because it would make me feel better. Now, this is going to be a little different to what you're used to. Here you go, mate. That's the way. And put that tongue out. Echidnas drink from their mum's mammary gland or the skin around. They push against it like this with their beak. And that stimulates the production of milk. And then they lick it up. Hopefully, Eddie plays ball and starts to drink. Oh, drinking. Well done, mate. Look at the tongue. I have never, ever, ever seen that. See him nosing at it, pushing down. That's just amazing. He mustn't have been fed for a little while because the reaction here, first feed, he's hungry. Keep going, pal, that's better. Now I can give you some more. I could have accepted if he didn't drink today and thought, well, I'll try again tomorrow, but the fact that he has means we're moving forward. Yeah, mate, more? I can't keep up with you. Hello, mate, you're coming up for a breath. Eddie still faces a lot of challenges. He's small, he's got to be kept at a really low temperature, he's got to be fed at irregular intervals, very different than what I'm used to. Unreal, mate. You're a superstar. I'd like to think that Eddie's releasable to the wild at some point back where he came from. That'll be governed by how the next few months go, how he goes on weaning, if he can integrate into an environment and start to look after himself. Fingers crossed.